This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Let's get right into the news. Alrighty, so latest in the Nicki and Latto beef. Latto recorded Nicki Minaj. I'm not going to play the phone calls, okay? But I'm going to tell you this, okay? So Nicki's not totally wrong. I kind of get what's going on here. Latto is kind of like, so it's like, before we get into the nitty gritty, I'll put up the last couple of texts, but this is how I analyze this situation, okay? Nicki is 12 years, 11 years in the game as far as having a record deal and dropping music in a bigger platform. Of course, she's been in the game before that with the DVDs and everything, right? But it takes a lot. She's noticing now there's more females in the game, and certain ones are trying to pull her from her position, right? So Latto is a fan of Nicki's, right? And after being denied 3 or 4, see, this is the problem when you open communication with people. So Latto felt like she had that open communication with Nicki, but then saw Nicki doing features with, JT from the City Girls, saw her doing with Akbar V, people that aren't making as much noise as her, right? Which is, I'm not saying JT from the City Girls, but we'll say Akbar V, Malibu Mitch. We can say Latto has been pushed more to the public than those two that are on those remixes with her. Now, she's probably looking at it like, oh, well, screw Nicki. She's not going to do a feature with me. She must not like me. So she takes offense to it. So then she starts dropping subliminals like Nicki ran stuff for so long and now we're here. Like she says certain stuff that can be taken as you're saluting Nicki because you're in one sense in the same conversation. You're saying, I look up to her. She paved the way and she ran stuff for a long time. You're subliminally starting the conversation that her time is done. Right? And I can understand why Nicki's taking offense to that because she sees what the underlying thing is here. Okay? Nicki wasn't doing this to Lil' Kim, and I hate it when people say that. Lil' Kim just took offense that there was a new female in town. She was used to being the only female for so long. And I think Nicki was too, but Nicki was willing to share the spotlight with Cardi B. Cardi B, now this is where I get into I feel like Latto is making a calculated attack on Nicki Minaj because Cardi B did this. Cardi B, the industry wanted to get Nicki out of here. That was a fact, okay? Hot 97, people were colluded. They wanted Nicki out. They wanted to replace her with Cardi B. It didn't completely work, but Cardi B arrived because Cardi B is a personality. Beyond the music, she's a personality, right? So she was here to stay. And she's still here, right? But she picked a fight with Nicki, and what did it do? It actually brought validity to Cardi B, more so, right? And she already had validity, but it brought more attention on it, and it actually helped her get to another level, right? So you can't let people trick you into using you, right? 50 Cent kind of did this in the beginning, like when he did How to Rob before he got his deal. Brought a lot of attention on him. It got him blackballed in a lot of places as well, right? But ultimately, it brought a lot of attention and made more people know who. That's how I found out, like who 50 Cent was around that time. He made a lot of noise for that record. Okay. Now, and then it was big news that he got shot, and they assumed it was because of that record. I didn't know, and nobody else knew until he said it was really like Supreme had a problem with him, So anyways, Latto baited Nicki into a beef here. They started out in DMs and trickled into public Twitter. Then she even got Nicki so riled up, she called her, and that was the biggest mistake Nicki made because you always got to assume these people nowadays are recording your phone calls, okay? I've had phone calls of mine recorded. It's violating. Gives Fed vibes. Latto is violated. And if I was Nicki, I would take her for that. For that right there, that's a violation. To record someone's phone call without you knowing and putting it out. That is a super violation, and she should be punished for that. I'm saying, like, she should be penalized. I think it's against the law to do that, if I'm not mistaken. Because think about it. When they do record your phone calls, they got to let you know, unless it's a federal wiretap. And a judge has to sign off on that, okay? Latto says, I have no countless subtweets, blah, blah, blah. This is her, like, kind of baiting her in. Then saying you're old. But, like, Latto doesn't look that good, I'm going to tell you. She doesn't look 23. She does look like she's in her 30s, okay? Been subbing, freaky grandma, married, related to... Then she brings up her brother and the allegations against her brother. Everyone always goes there when they have beef with Nicki, right? They always go there. They love Nicki until then they're like, ooh, you have these allegations. Guarantee you Little Kim is friends with Big Latto right now. Little Kim loves friending Nicki Minaj's enemy. She's friends with Cardi B, very public with that. Remy Ma. She embraces anybody that hates Nicki. Latto, with all these things being said, it's just about a Grammy category. When Latto wants to be pop herself, she talks about it. You being funny, bringing me into your up in your defense case, knowing our last combo didn't end well. You said you literally told me I'm not flourishing and no one cares about my little song. Now, I will say, Nicki Minaj has become kind of diva-ish. She's a diva, okay? Just like Mariah Carey was, and that's why Nicki Minaj and Mariah Carey ended up clashing at that point, because Mariah Carey was too much of a diva and Nicki Minaj wasn't having it. I think Nicki Minaj has become kind of a diva, kind of like Mariah Carey was, and that's unfortunate, but that's okay, because I still think that she was, she had a point in this conversation. I think it got lost, you know? So then, Nicki says, didn't care about my brother's allegations when you were begging for features, didn't care about Kodak's past, didn't care about accusations made against Dr. Luke when he produced Big Energy. Newsflash, scratch up, I've never done anything to anybody. I've inspired millions, and you're one of them, bozo. She's right. Nicki's right? People try to bring up your issues after they've used you already. So anyways, Latto records the phone calls, says, I love you, also here from the sidelines. Let me specify, I'm sorry, I'm delusional for saying we're newer female rappers are flourishing, and you said no one cares about my little song lyrics. My bad. She's also getting exposed for, Latto's being exposed for having ghostwriters now, too. One of her ghostwriters came out and blasted her. It's getting crazy. Akademiks, I already posted him explaining what happened. A lot of people reacted to this, saying, imagine two girls fighting over Akademiks. Akademiks going back and forth with a female screaming, I'm the prize, is the weakest shit ever. I love Akademiks rants. I ain't gonna hold you. I love the things that come out of this guy's mouth is crazy. I enjoy it. I just hope he doesn't go too far where it gets himself canceled. That's all I'm saying. But I enjoy his rants. I think they're hilarious. He has a lot of entertainment value. He says, girls fighting over academics, I swear. Was this? Where as long as you got some money, it's a chick you can have. There are certain chicks that will go for the money. Freddie Gibbs laughs at the situation. Yeah, that's about it, man. We'll get into other stuff later. I appreciate you guys so much. Peace.